So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world. And welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector. And today I'm joined by Derek from the band Scour, which is about to release an album in February called Gold. So, this is a super group with members from different bands, including obviously Phil Anselmo on vocals. And Derek, you play on his other solo band, right? The what's the name of the band? Phil
Philip H.
Anselmo
Anselmo and the Illegals.
and the Illegals. So
Yeah,
Derek, how are you today?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. So yeah, this band, I listened to it, and it's a you have members from different band, and this is a very extreme metal band. Like you have like black metal elements, like punk, like thrash metal elements, all in that into the sound. So it's pretty straightforward sound. So tell me when you guys got together and decided to do this project.
Scour, I guess, came together in 2015, so almost 10 years ago. Geez,
Yeah.
but we didn't actually release our first EP until 2016. But yeah, it was original concept from my bass player John Jarvis and I. We kind of wanted to like start a band just basically on like a set of principles, really more than anything. And I just happened to have a couple of songs that didn't work with my current project and cattle decapitation. So we, I showed it to John, and he was all about it. And from there, we just kind of built the project out.
Yeah. Well, it's really the album's called Gold, and the artwork, it's pretty straightforward and simple, to the point. Uh, so so obviously the band, there's a like when a lot of people like get together, that it's called like a super group because they're different bands. Like guessing there's expectations in that, but the group doesn't sound anything like other of the like, especially it doesn't sound anything like what the singer is singing on this project in particular. So you write part of you what for this project, you contribute writing which parts of the songs, like only music, or do you also tackle some of the lyrics?
I personally handle like all the writing for the music
The
um,
music.
for
Mm.
for the band, and then Phil writes all the lyrics and vocal arrangements. And then John Jarvis and I will kind of put together the backing vocals. Like pretty much Phil will like leave spots for it. We can kind of tell where they're going to be. And then on this record in particular, Phil wrote all the interludes, all the samples and stuff for it. So it's got a really like horror vibe to it, which is worked out really well for the whole album as a whole, really.
Yeah, there's like, I think there's two. There's ornaments and contaminated, which makes sense because it's start 4 and 8. So they seem like they're like a breathing room, because the rest of the album is pretty pummeling and hard hitting. I know one of the singles that you guys released was Blades. Uh,
Yes.
tell me a little bit about that track.
Yeah, Blades. When I wrote Blades, it actually like was kind of like inspired from some like riffs I had from like 2008 or something, but I'd never really found a home for. So mainly that main riff, which is kind of more like grindy. It's not like black metal or anything, but um, I put that song together. It kind of to me just like shouted out as like a track two of the album. Like I knew it was going to be the second track of the album after it was written, and um, when it came time to release singles, we were like, well, what's going to be the second one? And just like Blades just again just called to us just because it's like it's kind of a fun one. It keeps the energy going. There's a couple of things that were introduced, like there's a bass intro to one of the riffs, which is a new thing for Scour. And it was actually the first time that Phil had done some of his spoken word stuff. I had been actually requesting that for years. For every album, I was like, let me get some spoken word, please. And it never happened, but there's a few spots in this album that he does do
Yeah.
that. And I think it's
Yeah,
works.
it's sparingly here and there, but I think it gives it like a different, like a sinister element to it, because it sounds like he's telling like a story when he's doing the spoken word to it. Uh, so for you, like doing the music, did you have any? Was there a song on this record that was specifically challenging to do? At least in the music, the arrangements.
Um, as far maybe for the arrangements, as far as like playing wise, it's pretty straightforward. You know, Scour always came from like a minimalist approach, like by design. We wanted to be just bare bones, especially in the early stuff, like couple riffs, just beat it in your head, you know, not, you know, get rid of all that tech. But as far as like arrangement goes, um, the last song, the album Serve, I brought it to the table, and then even in the studio, Phil like pulled me aside and was like, you know, something's not right with this one. It's just kind of off. I don't know what it is, and I kind of knew that like in my gut that something wasn't quite right. So actually in the studio, I went back and rearranged stuff, and then I presented to everybody, and they're like, that's a finished song right there. So uh, that one was really important to nail because it was like, you know, the closing track of the album. Plus, it has like the chorus has like a riff that isn't like very typically Scour. It's more of like an epic feel. So it was made to be the closer of the album with that epic feeling, but it wasn't quite right until we got in the studio. But I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I like I think a song that for me I enjoyed was Invoke. Uh,
Yes.
like I don't know, you know, where like you're like Invoke Satan. So I thought I don't know if you guys were being serious or it's like because it felt a little bit of like tongue in cheek to that track. I don't know. I would have to ask Phil, but it felt that way when I was listening to the track.
Well, you know, Phil writes the lyrics, and he went to like a pretty dark place in a lot of the lyrics and this stuff. Kind of some evil stuff, and
Yeah.
he even asked us like, "Is it too much? You know, did we go too far?" And we were just like, you know, Scourboys don't give a fuck, you know, so like, let it rip. But yeah, that song in particular does go pretty hard. I won't lie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, when I was listening to it, I'm like, yeah, they went all hard on this one. So I'm like, but I didn't. I'm like, I didn't know. But it seems like the approach that you guys have to this band is like, do not overthink, because a lot of like modern metal bands, they're so caught up on the technicality of it that sometimes it's like, oh, we need like more solos in a song, and just like you guys are more like let the riff play itself out.
Yeah, totally. And that's by design for like when we started the band. Like we all come from technical backgrounds, whether I was in Cattle Decapitation or Misery Index or Pig Destroyer. You know, it's like, I mean, even like Pantera's got some technical parts. It's like we didn't want any of that. You know, we just wanted to keep it real basic. And I think at the beginning it was maybe like maybe we pigeonholed ourselves a little too much,
Mhm.
per se. Even though I love those first songs, it just I felt like we were forcing it, and now we kind of like we keep that sound on the Gold album, but we kind of like let it breathe and expand a little bit, and it leads to some cool guitar work throughout. And I think that's kind of the direction we're moving. Like it's still gonna have like plenty of buzzsaw, never gonna stop blasting, but it's you know, kind of just open up a little bit, I guess.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's pretty fun to play these songs live, especially like the energy that you guys bring. So yeah, I'll show the artwork for the record, which is pretty like self. You know, it's just the Scour name in gold and like a black background. Like when you guys were discussing when to do an album cover, how did you guys decide? Let's just go to the minimal approach on the album cover as well.
Well, that's also like been designed from like the Scour way. all of our EPs have just been one color, the gray, red, black. And then when it came time for a full-length album, we didn't want to drop a whole bunch of artwork. We wanted to keep it true to like our roots. And we're like,
Mhm.
let's go gold. And, sometimes if you want a gold record, you got to make your own. But it's
True.
kind of a tarnished gold, which is kind of like how Scour is.
Yeah, it looks like a light gold, like almost like it's not like super yellow, but yeah, it's right there. So you guys have the record coming out on Nuclear Brass Records, and it's coming out February the 21st, so in a few weeks. So I'm guessing you guys have some. I know that you guys are playing a Milwaukee Metal Fest uh, on the 18th of May. But any other shows planned at the moment?
We have a bunch of like offers and stuff like that could be in the works. It's just a matter of like hammering it out with everyone's schedule. Pig Destroyer, Misery Index, and Pantera's got like pretty hefty schedule. So the offers
Oh
are
yeah.
there, and if we can make it work, we will. Like Milwaukee is going to be awesome, but it's just a testament to like how hardworking like Phil is. He's like right in the middle of touring with Metallica, playing these stadiums, and he has
Yes.
1 week off. And during that week, he's playing with Down and Scour. It's like the dude's an animal. So it's like we'll just try to fit in where we get in. And I think that there will be more opportunities like that for us just to kind of sneak in different spots. As far as a full tour goes, that is to be seen. Probably going to be just doing like some festivals and one-offs for the time being. But that is definitely a goal of ours, one day.
Yeah, no, but the busy schedules that everyone on this band has, like to take time to record something, has to be it. How long was the recording process for this one?
This one was, well, the recording process itself was like took forever, but the physically tracking the stuff was only a few weeks down at Phil's house and the lair is where we tracked everything. But we did go back, spent a long time with the mixing, just want to make sure everything was right. And then when we were mixing it, we even discovered that like one or two of the tracks was missing some of the guitar tones on one of the sides. So I went
Oh,
back,
which one?
like I can't even remember, but
Okay.
because I went back and actually reamped all the guitars because we had the DI tracks saved. So I went to Forge Audio here in San Diego, run by Steve Brodgan. He's actually Gary Holt's guitar tech, and he's a master of tone. And I feel like we dialed in like probably the most crushing guitar tone I've ever had, in my career. So we went back and added that, which made a whole new element. We had to go back and remix stuff. So we actually recorded this in like January, February of 2023. So here we are in 25. It's like, it's time to push this sucker out.
Yeah. I know that this you're going to release this, but are you guys already like working on new stuff?
Yeah, I have some new tracks in the works already. Because to us, I mean, these songs are like super old already. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
But we haven't really played them live. We played a couple of the tracks at a show we did in New Orleans with Exhorder and Pentagram, which was awesome. But we've only played two of them, so we've got a bunch we still need to perform live, really.
Yeah, but are you guys what can you tell us about what you're working on? Is it very punishing, like very, or is there some different tones for what you're working on right now?
Definitely punishing the new stuff. Yeah, it's just like more everything, more blast, more ripping, some awesome themes, and pretty much keeping in line with the progression that have Scour's gone. So I would say like if Gold is a step up from the previous EPs, the newer stuff is going to be an even bigger step up, but not like super techy or anything, not we're not going to be like putting out like an Arc Spire record, even though I love those dudes. It's just not our style that we play. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, but with a name like Scour, no, I wouldn't expect a power ballad from you guys. So, yeah,
No, not anytime soon.
no, it wouldn't make sense. So, yeah, so fun times coming. The album's gonna be out soon. I'll put the link for people who want to pre-order it and get more into the band. Even though there's a big buzz with this band, obviously with all the members who are in the band. So right now, do you have a favorite track from this record?
Hmm. That's a tough one to say. One
Maybe
that I
like the one
guess
that you like
we
to play
lean.
live the most.
I think one that I personally dig is called Hell.
Oh
That's
yeah.
more of like the brutal sound. It's almost like more like got some more death metal influence than like a Blackish type of stuff. But Hell is a good one. I mean, it's even got like some slammy type parts, which is kind of new for us in this band, not for us the members, but
Hmm.
that is definitely a good one. There has been calls. It seems like every member's got their own favorite. Um, I think Adam Jarvis's favorite he said was Invoke as well. Um, Maybe it's because it's got a little break from the blasting. I'm not sure, but everyone seems to have their own favorite. So I think they all stand up on their own. I think eventually they're all going to get played live. You know.
Yeah, would make sense. So, yeah, so Derek, I'm not gonna hold you up too much longer because I know you have a bunch of this stuff to do. So before I let you go, anything you like to say to the fans before we go?
Yeah, if you want to catch the record, Housecore Records in the U.S. and Nuclear Blast everywhere else, just go to our socials. There'll be a link. You just click the link, and wherever you're at, it'll pop up and tell you where the best place is to get it. Other than that, just keep your eye out for some surprises we've got coming soon. Um, that's about all I can really say about that.
Yeah, no, I know you guys. There's still stuff that you can divulge. So, Derek, I want to thank you for taking some time to chat with me and talk about obviously Scour and the gold record. So, thank you for your time. And Coucher Scour out February 21st. I'll put the link for people who want to pre-order that. So, until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.